All right, folks, welcome back to another video. We've got a very good one today. It's going to be a classic coaching video. We haven't done one of these in a while.
Man, hold on.
What's up?
What are you wearing, man?
Let's not do this again. No, I'm just wearing my clothes.
Man, I'm sick of the outfits now.
You're sick of the? I'm sick of your outfits. Okay, so look, folks, we've had this in a previous video. Sam has been critiquing my fashion choices. These are my clothes.
Come on, you're taking it a bit too far now.
I think this is a strong look. I think this is a strong look. Okay, let's try something. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh! Whoa. That's actually not bad.
Oh, that's way better.
Yeah, okay. Well, good news, folks. After seeing some of my fashion choices on previous videos, Magic Magnus, big daddy of YouTube, has noticed my choices and decided this won't do. So he has intervened and sent me some very nice rung knit clothes, which actually, now that I've tried them out, I think multiple benefits here. Number 1, comfy. Number 2, climb hard. Number 3, don't look like a clown, which I think is a pretty big plus.
I approve.
I think I look like a high fashion clown, but a clown nonetheless. So, okay, I've now got these quite a lot nicer clothes. If you also want to try these out and get ready for summer, use the code CATALYST to get 15% off the Rung Knit website. You can get some nice t-shirts, some nice shorts. They're very stretchy and good for climbing. Woohoo. All right, I'm gonna wear this from now on. Right, also, as I was saying, we're doing a coaching episode today, which I am really excited about. I love doing these episodes. We get a really fun student to work with, and we get to share loads of useful tips, which I think loads of you will relate to. So, joining us for today's video, we have
Sarah, hello.
Sarah, it's Sarah, a student who trains with me every week on the adult performance team. Hey Sarah, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Good.
Pow. Aim of today is that I've chosen some V5-ish, some V4, some V6 boulders for Sarah to try. We're going to watch Sarah try them, and then I'm going to see if I've got some useful tips for Sarah, but also for you to apply to your own climbing. All right, Sarah and I are going to have a look at this blue V5. Now, I'm aware Sarah doesn't love slopers, so I very kindly picked a boulder that has millions of slopers on it. Good luck, Sarah. What do you make of this one?
I mean, if it wasn't slopers, it would be like exactly my style. It's quite thuggy. I see a like toe hook to start that I quite
well
spotted. This section is going to be the hardest bit for me because this doesn't look like it's going to be a great move, and then up to that, which looks like it's not going to be an awesome sloper, but we'll see.
Give it a try. Go on.
All right. Yeah, that's a nice toe bit.
Oh, go on, Sarah. Come on. Oh, good effort. Have one more go after a short rest, and then I think I've got some advice for you.
Cool. That actually did feel like the move. It just felt slippery when I got in there. Maybe I want to use my thumb.
Yeah.
I hate using my thumb. I think what I'm less confident about is then using it once I've got it. But then once my left hand is in that crimp, I'm almost 100% certain I can finish it.
I am too. Yeah, come on. Poof, good effort. Come on, Sarah.
Oh, no. Switch nicely. Nah, that was a mistake.
Good try. I've got some useful tips for this one. Really good effort, by the way, Sarah. I've got tips to do with mindset and tactics, and I've also got tips to do with I've got tips to do with movement. But let's start with the mindset and tactics one, because I think the movement one will solve itself if we talk about this first.
Okay.
Okay, so if the main issue is I don't think you're doing the easiest moves as well as you could do, and that's what's required to do this climb, why are we not finding the easiest moves and the easiest method of doing it? Okay, so I said at the start, like, I know Sarah's not as confident with this style of climb. And what was interesting to watch is, because we've worked together quite a lot, on a climb which does suit you, which you're feeling loads more confident on, you prepare it with a lot more detail because you think you're going to do it. And you read the sequence really, really clearly. You focus really intently on doing the moves well. Whereas on a climb that you assume you're not going to be able to do, we didn't prepare much of it and spent most of the time talking about like, I don't think I can do this, that looks really, really hard. So I think there are a few specific details we can look at which will make it a lot easier for you. First one, would be on this hold here. I'll check it out myself to make sure, but I think there are two different parts of this that we could hold. The lower part, which you've got, but it might be worth shifting into that upper bit. Yeah. Can you see any other available foot positions? Again, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be easier, but you were doing right foot here. Yeah. Can you see any other options for how you might be able to get there slowly doing that next move to the sloper?
Okay, where was I? I'm here and here.
Yeah.
I am an absolute slave to diametric opposition, so I really want my right foot higher than my left.
Okay, good. Find a position for that.
I could keep my left here and maybe try and put my right here.
I think that might work. I'll give it a try, and I'll see. What we're looking for is a body position which will allow us to catch that sloper more gently. You hit it on your first go, but you hit it like with a lot of weight on it, which is a really hard catch to make.
Yeah.
So I think let's try that other method and see if that works.
Okay.
But my main point for this is that I think Sarah might have worked that out on her own, on her first go, if she'd been approaching this with as much confidence and focus as she would a climb that she knows she can do. Let's find out though. Let me get my shoes on and try that move and see what it's like. What? This part of the hold that I used?
Yeah.
I think it felt easier, but I'm not certain. The angle was loads better, but it's not as good as the bit you had. The drop knee position there though, that felt pretty good. I think you should try that for sure.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think when I looked at it, definitely I didn't think about doing it at all. Secondly, I was like, oh, it's a V5, so it must be difficult. So I think I just kind of thought about the hardest thing I could possibly do to get in there. That sort of big throw is also very thuggy and very my style. And if the hold was any better, it would be completely fine.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I picked the first way that would make sense to me. But I think you're right, the drop knee does let you go to it way easier and have it under control instead of just being like, let's hope my contact strength is enough.
Common error on hard climbs is hitting bad holds with way too much force. And that's, very often a reason people would fall off a climb they are able to do. Finding methods to slow down at the right moment to get the holds well, that's kind of the other thing we're talking about. And I'd say, generally people looking at a climb with low confidence, and as a result of that low confidence, not really doing anything to help them have a better chance of doing it is really, really common. I do it all the time. If I look at a climb and immediately think like, oh, there's just no way that I'm gonna be able to do this, subconsciously it makes me think like, well, why would I invest time and energy in preparing really, really hard for this when I don't really think I'm gonna do it? So I don't. I try to be much better nowadays of just blindly assuming I'm able to do any climb and really preparing it well, just to give myself a better chance. Yeah, come on. So good. Come on, Sarah. Yeah, step all the way back. Yeah, Sarah. Go on, you can go again if you want. Yeah, can you match that? Come on. Whoa,
it's not a jug.
Good effort. No, not a jug, I'm afraid, but god damn. Really good fight, Sarah. Right, leave it on that one, but that back step looked great. So just to break down that tip for people, if you're looking at a climb, not feeling that confident about it, make yourself treat it seriously, focus really hard on reading the easier sequence, and then genuinely try hard. You'll only give yourself a better chance of doing it anyway. When it comes to particularly hard moves, where you're landing on a hold with a lot of impact, you can lessen the amount of strength you need for it if you find a way of hitting that hold slower. Sometimes, in this case, we just found a better foot position, which meant Sarah could do it completely statically. In a lot of circumstances, it might be just changing the subtlety of how you use your momentum. Instead of going for it and hitting it really hard, try and go a little bit further so you can hit it softer and decelerate into it. Right, on to the next climb, let's go. Yeah. I'm being really mean to Sarah today. I picked another boulder, and it's another style that actually Sarah's got loads better at over the last few months, but not your favourite.
Oh no.
Enjoy this dyno! We're gonna look at this orange V4. Coordination, jumpy, catchy stuff. It's a pretty good time, but obviously I would think that. What do you make of this?
Okay, so full disclosure, the last time I came into HarroWall, I looked at this wall and I was like, oh, everything looks great, and I tried out everything, and then I looked at this climb and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it, and I like walked up to it and I read it, and I went, no, I'm gonna go in the power cave. And so instead I just went and I played around on like something else that I actually
you got no choice but to try it now.
Yeah, oh God, I hate you for doing this. But I probably should try it because it might go a bit better than I actually think it will.
Oh, good
Immediate
effort.
no.
Yeah,
Okay.
spoilers for you. I think the chalk on the right-hand side of that hold has been left by other hopeful static climbers like yourself, but I don't think anyone's successfully done that sequence. Or if they did, it's way harder than the actual intended method.
Oh, so the opening isn't, even the opening isn't static. Okay.
I'm afraid not. Ah, yeah,
Okay,
there we go.
I know what I'm doing.
Really good, Sarah. Go on.
Okay.
Come on! That's it.
Okay, so it's plant this.
Yeah, you got it. Oh! Yes, Sarah. Go on, give it one more. Oh, you still almost stuck it as well.
Oh, so close.
Tip number one, and this is such an easy one because this applies to everybody, and I've worked really hard to be better at this myself. I think your first mistake, Sarah, was choosing not to try this. And I do this all the time, so I'm not like criticising Sarah at all. But I think this is one of the most helpful things we can do as climbers. Instead of looking at a climb and going, oh, that doesn't suit me, I'm going to find that really difficult, and choosing not to try it and learn nothing, exactly as Sarah is now discovering, once she starts trying it, it's actually nowhere near as bad as you thought, and you're learning so much by trying it. So my advice to people would be, if you want to get better at a certain style of climbing, stop avoiding it. Just start doing it and you'll get loads better really fast. As Sarah's discovering, this is loads easier than she thought it was, and she's probably going to do it in a few more goes. And the amount of learning and confidence she's getting from that wouldn't have happened if she hadn't chosen to get on this boulder, / being forced to get on this boulder by me. As for movement, I've actually got a very small tip for this one, but I think it will work quite well for you. So ideally, when you do this move, you want to generate with loads of momentum, so that if you give it enough force, you can slow down as you catch this hold and plant your feet. I think at the moment, you're going quite fast, but not fast enough that you're getting as much purchase on the volumes and getting far enough into that body position.
Okay.
So I'll demonstrate it, but all I'm really recommending is launch out of the start position with loads more force, specifically so that you can arrive here a little bit more gently.
Okay.
I think a good analogy, maybe this is a good analogy, imagine you're trying to like roll a bowling ball up a slope. The aim is for it to get all the way to the top of the slope for as long as possible before it starts rolling down again. You don't want to roll it so hard that it like flies off into space off the top of the slope, but you also, at the moment, don't want to roll it half-heartedly so it only goes halfway up the slope and then back down again. That's why I think you're like halfway up the slope, desperately reaching for the holds, whereas if you give it more, you just land and balance way at the top.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made sense to you? Yeah. Okay, great. I don't really know what that analogy is, so I don't know why we're rolling bowling balls up the slope. Yeah.
Okay.
One of the small differences, but this is...
The way you started the journey.
Yeah, but this is a preference for me. You don't have to do it this way. It's a compromise that I'm making. I chose not to start with my right foot on here and brought it all the way down because I was able to extend further into it and could launch even harder.
I was actually going to ask you whether that was something that I could do because
Definitely.
I found trying to generate in this really cramped position was quite hard.
Well, let's just talk about the compromise of it though. I can get loads more extension if I don't have my foot on here, so I can go faster. But there's slightly more to think about because now I need to do an extra step of landing my foot on this one. I still think that's worth trying though. Let me just give it one more so you can see again. Close. Do it even faster.
There's a lot of things to do with the feet now, which I think is making it a little harder.
Yeah.
But the energy that I can get is far easier. So I think this is probably the easier beta for me.
Go on, let rip. Yes! That was so good. Okay. What are you going to do for the rest of it?
I am not certain. I'm just going to give something a go.
Go on.
And see if it works. Ooh,
oh! I've got a tip to do with standing on volumes and the amount of momentum we use, which I think will make this loads easier. So just then, you had hands on that, right foot, left foot. You need to put a lot of weight on that left foot, but the angle of this volume is pretty steep. Yeah, it doesn't feel that trustworthy. It takes a lot of confidence, but I've made myself practice this a lot now because I've seen how much of a difference it makes. If I'm about to stand on a volume that doesn't have much friction because it's at a really bad angle, I'll go for the full confidence method of step away from it and launch into it with momentum. That momentum then holds the friction into the volume and I can stand on it with a lot more force.
So I pogo into the volume?
Yes, exactly. I'll show it in a minute, but when you get up there, instead of starting with your foot already on there and trying to launch into it like that, peel the foot away and go big. You'll be able to stand on that volume a lot more comfortably.
He makes this volume look like it's one of those like V2 volumes that's just a jug that they stick on.
It's the wrong knee clothes, makes me so good.
I have confidence that this volume is standable on.
Yeah, especially if you do it with speed.
Yep. Oh God, no.
Oh, good effort though. Close.
I'm just not getting in the jug.
Yeah! Okay, get the right foot secure, peel the left foot away, go really big. Come on!
Go on.
Yeah, that was it. Just then though, I think slightly scared of the volume. You landed the foot, but you were still out here when you were
Yeah, I
trying to
needed
grab
to be
them.
over.
Yeah, you got to go into it and stand all the way. One more go, just climb up and start from there. Just try that move once more, and then we'll leave you to work that out another time. Really big, Sarah, come on.
Go on.
Yeah! Oh! Okay, well maybe we need to give it one more now, because that really looked like you were going to do it. I think this is a really good example of a move that only works and feels weirdly easy, but only if you do it confidently enough. If you don't do it confidently enough, miles away feels impossible. If you do it with full confidence, feels, I think, easier than the first move that you've already done.
Genuinely just pretended that I knew how to do it.
Yep.
And then the whole just.
That's what I'm doing the whole time. Yeah. Come on, Sarah. Maybe the right foot up behind you, yeah. Whoa! Whoa! Good effort. Oh, done. God damn. Recapping on the tips for this one, stop avoiding the style of climbs that you don't feel confident or familiar with. You will get better at them if you start trying them, so start trying them. For moves like the ones that Sarah's been trying now, launching with a lot of force out of the start position often means you can slow down as you get to the catch position. And for standing on badly angled volumes, not all the time, but a lot of the time, launching into it with a lot of momentum can push more friction into the volume because that momentum will help you stand there. And I suppose the last thing we talked about was a lot of the time dynamic moves don't work unless you do them confidently enough. And then they feel easy. So maintain high confidence when you're trying this stuff. Right, on to the next one. Let's go, Sarah. I think Sarah's going to like the next one. We're going to have a look at this blue V5 on the slab. I tried it and I fell off on my first go. Then I did it. So I think I've got some useful stuff for Sarah, but Sarah, you have a go, see what happens, and then we'll talk. Good effort.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that's the correct way to go. I feel myself peeling off the wall as soon as I try and move the right hand, and I'm not sure whether it's I'm moving the right hand wrong or whether I'm just like peeling my body away to look where I'm going.
Let me try the move, see if you spot the difference, because I don't... Actually, no, I'm going to shut up, I'm going to let you spot the difference and not give any more hints.
Yep.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
What was the difference?
You did a big back flag.
Yeah, where was your right foot?
My right foot stayed on.
Still on hold, yeah. I think when you let go from that position, impossible not to lose balance. I kept shuffling sideways, actually went way further than I did on my first go, and basically put everything in a straight line right over that foot so I could hold with a lot of balance.
Yeah, that was actually how I read it. And
Yeah.
then when I went to go to do it, I was kind of like, oh, I'm not sure whether I can do the back flag. I'll
Yeah.
just commit to trying to do it smaller. I don't think that's possible at all.
Go on, Sarah. Yeah. That's it. Oh, God.
Go on.
Oh,
That is hard.
really good. Okay, but hang on. There's a small difference in how you and I did that move. I'm going to have this as the tip for finding balance positions and that like rock over move that you were doing, whether your knee is inside or outside your arm. sometimes makes a massive difference. In this case, I think it makes a huge difference. Knee inside, this is now the furthest I can go. And I can't get the weight off my right hand, can't do that move. If I do that, then I can sit directly over it. Yeah. Knee outside. Go on. Yeah. Yeah, that was great, Sarah.
That's a terrible hold.
Yeah, oh, it's garbage. That's why you want to go for it really, really slowly. Now this is going to just be a slight difference of Sarah and I have different sized bodies. I actually stayed really low and pretty much like sat down with hips against my heel because I could reach it from there. This isn't right or wrong or anything, just be aware that the more you extend out of that position, it might be necessary to reach the hold, but you'll need to try harder and harder the more you extend out.
Yeah, that was
of
why
it.
I actually didn't push up.
I'm going for like the really low effort method of if I can sit all the way there, I'm mostly just keeping balance, but not actually having to try that hard, and I can reach it from there.
But was the bottom bit any nicer, or is it just the top?
No, it's all crap.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried to go for what I'd call the omni grip of just grab everything. Oh no, okay, yeah, I grab like that. Thumb underneath, fingers on the top.
Oh, you used your thumb, right?
Yeah, the thumb again.
That's a good idea.
Let's talk about that actually, because that is a really useful tip for most people. So second time this has come up, Sarah not that keen on using her thumb. I actually, when I was younger, never used my thumbs. I would do everything as open hand 3-finger drag, because it's a more passive grip type and it felt easier to me. Then I made myself practice using my thumb and everything gets a lot easier. Sometimes the hold just feels completely different, because on this one I'm genuinely pinching it either side, but particularly for indoor climbing, everything, because it's raised out from the wall, can be a pinch. I can pinch this, I can pinch this, I can even pinch this. Sometimes it doesn't make much difference. A lot of the time though, it means you can just get better control over the hold and use it from more angles. So thumbs, use your thumbs. Yeah, okay, she's understood, she's gonna use the thumbs.
She's gonna use her
Right, so the big tip, this. Yeah, let's go, Sarah.
Oh, that's really hard.
Hard move, right?
Ooh, yeah.
Try it, because I'm doing the slightly easier version. Just have a go at getting into that position. Use this one and right foot on the red.
Yeah.
See if you can get all the way into it, and then
There you
take
go.
the hand off.
Yeah, no, I can't reach that. So I'd have to be probably here. Just trying to work out where I have to be.
Oh yeah, and then just remember that grip tight. You want
around.
thumb underneath, fingers on the top. The knee goes further and further out. You got it?
Out? Like this way?
Yeah. Like out that way.
not
But
strong
this
in
is,
this position.
yeah, okay. So Sarah is objectively more flexible than I am in a bunch of different ways. I've got a very specific flexibility for climbing, which is hips close to the wall, knee all the way out, and a lot of flexibility in that ankle. But I've got that flexibility from making myself do moves like that over and over again. So we've discovered that this position that I'm able to get into is really, really helpful for doing this climb efficiently. And Sarah currently slightly lacks that flexibility. Gentle way of practicing this flexibility. And Sarah, you try this in a minute. On a juggy slab, find a great big hold, climb up and put one foot on top of it, and practice being in that position. Switch feet. Practice being in that position. Do it on a great big jug on a slab first. You'll still practice a bit of flexibility and you'll need to use a little bit of strength to hold that position. And then as you try it on smaller holds and less slabby walls, you'll train more and more flexibility and strength just beneath.
So I'm just doing that.
Yeah.
Here.
Good.
Yeah, so this is definitely like comfy, but I think as the holds get smaller and smaller, you need more external rotation.
Exactly.
I'm a very internal rotation person.
Try the other side quickly. Yeah, good. Can you push into it any further?
Like,
Yeah, that's it. And then that right foot needs to press into the wall really hard to stop you from tipping over backwards. A little bit further there.
Yeah.
Now if you lean the upper body a little bit more that way, that's really close to the no hands position now. Really good, take a rest there. So very quickly recapping on the tips for this blue slab. When you're doing a hard rock over move, trying to get the weight into your hips, the difference of whether you've got your knee outside or inside the hands sometimes is really significant, so be really aware of that. And then as we've seen, although I'm not the most flexible climber, I do have very specific climbing flexibility for those like close into the hip moves. I've practiced that not by off-the-wall stretching, but by on-the-wall stretching, making myself find those positions on easy slabs, on big holds, practicing that loads, and then eventually having the flexibility to do it on much worse holds with harder moves. So get practicing. Next one we're going to have a look at is on the Kilterboard. So all of you viewers can try this on your local Kilterboards as well. I've selected at 40 degrees a climb called Pinball, which gets V4. Sarah's going to try it. Then we're going to see what we have to talk about.
I really like this board. It kind of lets you twist a lot, which is very my style of climbing. There's a lot of tension and thuggish pulling.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore the Kilterboard. Gonna give it a go. I think it's quite readable. Kind of just smash and grab with a lot of tension, which is
Sounds perfect. That's what the Kilterboard's all about.
Way less good than I thought.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. Come on, Sarah. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, come on. Come on. No way. So, really nice. Okay, so I've got a tip for just a better sequence on this, which I think will make the finish move easier.
Okay.
But I've also got a general movement tip. Yeah, okay, let's go through both of them. So, quick one, I think there's an easier way of doing that finish move. It's not obvious, and actually I didn't spot it until after you'd fallen off. I watched you doing that finish move, I was like, yeah, what are you supposed to do? I think, I'll give it a try in a second, from these two holds, if you go right hand again, I actually think you've got a good setup to do that move.
Yeah, it did
and then
feel-
you can go left hand into the finish and it'll feel loads
As soon as I
easier.
had it, I was
yeah,
like,
exactly.
this should be a right hand.
If you do end up left hand on the penultimate one, maybe you could just cross through right hand to the finish. But I think it's going to be easier to go right again and then left hand out. The main thing though that I think you can focus on is, and this is a difficult tip to explain carefully because this is a very steeply overhanging board with small holds that you do need to pull quite hard on. That being said though, I think you're over gripping a fair bit.
Oh, yeah?
I think moves that can be done with a slightly more relaxed grip, you're like crushing the holds into powder and you're often like a lot tighter in the way you're moving between the holds. So obviously not relax so much that you don't do any of the moves, but try and grab each of the holds with like the minimum amount of force on your next go. Also, if it's your first go at something, I would always put more strength in than I need to. As I then practice it and refine it, I try and do it with less and less strength all the way through. So okay, let's have a try.
The worst holds, I think.
Right, so we're going to leave it there on this boulder. Sarah's finger is hurting a little bit, so she's wisely going to restrain herself and not carry on smashing on a crimpy boulder. But my advice for this one is that even if you're on a particularly like intense and physical climb, that doesn't mean you need to do every move with maximum intensity and effort. Ideally, you want to find the middle ground where you're applying the minimum amount of force, but still doing the moves. The best way to do that, I think, is repeating the climb over and over and over again to try and find the minimum amount of strength you can use on every move. If you do that enough, you'll eventually be able to do that on your flash go, genuinely using smaller amounts of strength all the way through, but it takes a lot of practice. So get practicing. Right, first off, funny off-camera moment that you all missed. So Sam has been on the adult performance team that I coach on Tuesdays for several months now, I think. Sarah has also been on the team and also watching all our YouTubes. It was only like a few minutes ago, so I was like, wait, Sam from the... Same Sam! And we're like, yeah, same Sam.
Sam's a common name!
I know, it is a common name, that's true. Yeah, that's actually a pretty fair point.
My middle name is Sam.
But look, you've known him
Sam
for
could
ages,
be
he's
anyone.
famous. Right, so that's the end of the video. Thank you very much, everybody. Sarah, thank you so much. You've been an excellent student.
Thank you very
I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you at our next training on Tuesday. In the meantime, folks, please do all the healthy YouTube things. Subscribe to the channel if you hadn't subscribed already. Very important thing to do. Leave some comments. Please give Sarah a huge well done for being an amazing student in today's episode, and let us know what sort of tips you liked and what other videos you'd like to see from us. Like the video, and if you want training plans from myself and Neil Gresham, click the join button and you can become a member of the Catalyst online squad. Don't forget, folks, if you want to get ready for summer and get some snazzy Rungney clothes like I'm wearing here, is my snazzy pose, click the link in the description, use the code Catalyst, and you get 15% off shorts and t-shirts. Damn it. Good. I realised how I was doing. I was like, don't get it wrong. Shorts and t-shirts. Fuck. Right, I'm off. Bye. See you later. Thanks, Sarah.